Welcome back everyone to another beer review. You know you're watching, you know what channel this is. I'm back with another beer review from the Heineken Blade system now. It's a beer that Beowulf don't stock. They may well do it at some point, but as far as I'm aware, the only supplier of this beer in the UK at the moment is Beer Shark up in Scotland. So they get it imported in. It's a Greek lager, and I'm sure it's one that everyone knows. It's Alpha, coming in at 5%. Now this keg wasn't particularly cheap. It wasn't cheap, it was expensive. But I understand if Beer Shark are importing it, they're obviously having to invest a lot of money to get these kegs in as well. So they're going to put their bit on it. It coming at £49.99. On the plus side of that, you have to spend £45 to get free delivery. So instantly, just buying this one keg, I'm getting free delivery for it. There was a couple of Alpha beer mats in there, and they chucked in an Alpha glass to go with the keg. So that £50 with free delivery, a glass, a couple of beer mats and the keg softens the blow a little bit. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over there, do a video of the pour, come back, and we'll carry on with the review. Carry on with the reviews. Back in a tick. So we're back, beer in a glass. That was the first pour out of the keg. Dry line always creates a bit more of a bigger head. But in all fairness, 300ml glass, yeah, all right, the beer could have a head maybe half that size, but I'm not too disappointed with that. So it's a good compact 2-finger of white head. There's a slight chill haze in there. I wouldn't say the beer's particularly hazy itself. Golden in colour. There is some gentle carbonation going up, just a few bubbles going up there, but I mean it looks like a lager, and that's all you can expect from it. So let's dive in on the nose and see what we get. That typical sort of generic lager sort of smell in there. Malty, you are getting a little bit malty. Certainly picking a bit more of a hoppy presence up on the nose. Lemon, citrus sort of thing going on. There is maybe an inkling of a little bit of a, that's what I always call it, sort of like a little bit of a nasty aroma going on. But no, I'm not particularly rough on the nose, to be honest. So without further ado, and because I'm thirsty, let's dive in on this Alpha and see what we get. Cheers, everyone. Nice body on it. I think the head's maybe helping that. Again, it would be one that maybe get a couple of pints down to see if that body is still as good. I think the head is giving it a smoothness as well. Carbonation's quite gentle, nothing too wild in your mouth, which is something I like. I don't like beers too carbonated. Yeah. You don't sort of get that rush in your mouth as soon as you drink it. As you sort of swallow it, you just get that little burst of carbonation. And it doesn't really affect the mouthfeel too much. It's still quite a decent mouthfeel to it. Taste-wise, you are getting a little bit of malt, a little bit of lemon in there. A little bit of a spicy bitterness is there pretty much from the start, but sort of before that beer's gone, or I would say just as the beer's sort of gone, that bitterness is gone. It doesn't really linger on. yeah, you tend to get that bitterness, I would say, that burst of bitterness when that carbonation hits your mouth and just sort of like explodes in your mouth. That's where the bitterness comes along. It goes very quick. 5%, yeah, it's drinking around that 5% mark. There's nothing overly nasty in this beer, and I can see why a lot of people would like it. It is quite clean. It's quite refreshing. It's easy drinking, but I can't help but feel that, for me personally, once you maybe got about 3-4 pints in, this beer would taste like any other sort of lager maybe, and maybe that typical, I wouldn't say it's nasty, but that typical generic sort of tang to lager for me comes to the forefront after about 3 or 4 pints, and just gets a little bit yucky, if you like. But I can see a lot of people liking this. Like I say, it's drinkable, hot day and what have you. Not that we're going to get many of them at the moment. You know, this is going to go down well. Like I say, it's refreshing. It wets your mouth. Nothing overly nasty in there, but maybe that little bit of a typical sort of nasty lager sort of tang to it might come through once you've had a few. But, excuse me, in general, not a fantastic beer, not anything that's going to set your world alight, but just a good, steady, easygoing, drinkable sort of lager that isn't going to offend too many people, I don't think. I don't think there's much with this beer that is going to offend too many people. It's going to be a good seller, I have no doubt, even at the price. It's well worth picking up and trying. Like I say, it's quite enjoyable. Would I buy one again? The beer's nice enough. But for me, when you've got Heineken at 28 quid and this at 50 quid, it's hard to say that I'm going to pull myself away from Heineken to buy this. So for me, Alpha on the Blade is well worth picking up, well worth having a dabble. It's run-of-the-mill stuff in its best form from the Heineken Blade for me. So yeah, that's my view. If you've had this beer before, on the Blade especially, let me know what you think. If you haven't had it, maybe give it a go, because, you know, it might be worth a try, even if you just try one keg. And if you're lucky, you might get an Alpha glass thrown in there as well. That's it for this beer review. Thank you for watching. Much appreciated. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Hope it hasn't been too boring. I'm going to leave it there. Enjoy your Thursday evening. There will be a couple more beer reviews coming up later on, so keep an eye out. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again on another beer review. Cheers.